There's something incredibly satisfying about watching high-quality tools do their job. And in the time since humans' early ancestors first fashioned tools around 2.6 million years ago, boy, have we come a long way. So today, we're checking out some of the coolest tools our modern world has to offer. From gigantic, spiked pincers that rip out trees to diamond drills that go through rock like butter, and even some high-tech slingshots with lasers, grab your hard hats as we test out some amazing tools that are truly on another level. Diamond drill. Despite their precious reputation, diamonds are the hardest naturally occurring material on Earth. So, naturally, tool manufacturers regularly put them to work in heavy-duty construction. This powerful piece of machinery is called a diamond core drill, and it's used to bore deep holes into extremely tough materials like rock, concrete, and thick ice. It achieves this using a large drill bit augmented with industrial diamonds. How fancy. But unlike their glamorous cousins found on wedding rings, industrial diamonds are designed for industrial use, thanks to them being too flawed or discolored to be considered valuable as gems. They're still hard as hell though. To make a diamond core drill, industrial diamonds are crushed into a fine powder, known as diamond grit. It's a lot easier than you might expect, as while diamonds are extremely hard to scratch and can easily cut into most other materials, they can themselves be shattered fairly easily with a lot of sudden force, even with a blow from a steel hammer. Once crushed up, this diamond grit then undergoes a process known as vacuum brazing, in which it's fused to molten filler metal such as nickel inside an extremely hot vacuum furnace. Once welded to the end of a steel drill bit, the diamond-laden tool is ready to be fastened to a high-frequency motor rotated at high speeds and plowed into a variety of structures. It goes through like butter, and it's pretty darn satisfying to watch, isn't it? So, what's the point of drilling these massive holes? Well, for one, it allows geologists to retrieve and examine undisturbed samples of various natural and man-made structures from the inside. It also creates empty spaces within solid walls to install plumbing, electrical, or ventilation systems. While some of these machines can reach truly monstrous sizes, Liechtenstein-based power drill manufacturer Hilti offers a range of smaller handheld versions, which specialize in burrowing into reinforced concrete. These amazing tools often simultaneously spray water into the boreholes during drilling, which not only keeps them cool and lubricated, but also captures harmful dust. I'd love to use one of these heavy-duty units myself to dig a secret escape slide out of my house or something. But sadly, Hilti diamond core drills cost anywhere from $2,000 to $9,000 each, including all the necessary accessories. So, lesson learned. With great power comes great responsibility, and apparently an even greater price tag. Portable ice powers. This next tool is for anyone out there who's ever even slightly desired superpowers. Specifically, this ingenious device, known as the Rothenberger Rofrost Turbo 28, will give you the power to freeze water into ice, to the amazement of any lucky onlookers. This badass piece of kit is used to freeze the water inside pipes solid from the outside, so that you can cut the pipe to shorter lengths without soaking yourself and your surroundings. So how does this magical piece of kit work? Well, the device comes with a set of clamps, complete with temperature gauges, which connect securely to the pipe. These clamps are passed through by a rapidly circulated refrigerant gas, usually propane, as part of a complex pressurized system, like that in your home freezer. The icy temperature begins to spread through the pipe thanks to the sealing layer of heat-conducting paste on the ice-cold clamps, which rapidly saps any heat from the pipe and the water inside. This ultimately leads the water inside the pipe to freeze, forming a solid ice plug, which stays in place while the pipe is cut to size, ready to be fitted with a new adjoining pipe or faucet, and all before the ice turns back to water. Pretty, cool, right? One for all. They say idle hands are the devil's playthings, and our next multi-talented tool is sure to keep your hands busy thanks to its heavenly aptitude for a variety of DIY tasks. The $130 18-volt ONE+ cordless multi-tool, developed by Japanese hardware manufacturer Ryobi, is one of the most versatile devices out there for frequent DIYers. When outfitted with one of its many saw attachments, the tool's rapidly oscillating head can be used to make precise cuts through almost any material, including wood, drywall, or even metal, as if the material was nothing more than a block of cheese. Check it out. The segment saw can also be swapped out for a sanding pad accessory for smoothing down surfaces with a lot less elbow grease compared with a traditional sanding block. With adjustable attachment angles and a built-in LED light, the tool remains effective in the tightest and darkest corners of your worksite, which means you can finally build that new house extension you've been dreaming of by cover of darkness, so the local planning authorities will never know. Totally foolproof, right? Porta Solder. The soldering iron, a revolutionary tool used by professionals and hobbyists alike for well over a century to fuse metal and circuitry together. It works by heating and melting a metal alloy, known as solder, over the joint between two components. The molten solder is then left to cool and solidify, creating a fixed and electrically conductive bond. While it's certainly one of the most satisfying tools to watch in action, it isn't always the easiest to maneuver, seeing as soldering irons need to be plugged into an outlet, limiting the tool's range. The solution? The portable soldering iron 3380, developed by Swedish metalworking company Sivert. Priced at around $300, this soldering iron doesn't need mains for power. Instead, disposable cartridges filled with a mixture of flammable gases like propane slot right into the tool's lightweight titanium handle. The gas is then lit using a bizarre little mechanism known as piezoignition, in which an inbuilt electrically charged crystal is hit by a spring-loaded hammer, which releases a high-voltage discharge that ignites the gas. The flame heats up the copper bit to temperatures exceeding 3,800 degrees Fahrenheit and can keep burning for 90 minutes of cordless soldering work, mainly for the purpose of fusing sheet metal together. Man, if there was ever a modern tool you could take back to the medieval times and be guaranteed that you'd be accused of witchcraft, this magical crystal hammering flame wand has to be a top contender, right? Metal shear. Now, while soldering irons are busy bonding metals together, other tools are being used to tear them apart, Lisa, and it's equally as satisfying to watch. Check it out. This is the 18-gauge single-cut metal shear, developed by American power tools manufacturer Milwaukee, and it goes through metal like butter. Fueled by a rechargeable lithium-ion battery, this $329 power tool effortlessly glides through metal sheets up to 1/20th of an inch thick. It works by oscillating the steel-bladed head at high speeds, allowing it to shred through metal with much less time and effort than traditional hand snips. With its 360-degree rotating head and variable speed trigger, this ergonomic device provides maximum control and precision, even while making the most difficult curved cuts. But my favorite part about this tool is the perfectly shaped coils of metal that twizzle off the bladed head during its use. In a parallel universe, laborer Be Amazed is almost certainly collecting these metal curls to use as unique Christmas tree decorations. It's the most curliful time of the year. Faucet finesse. The steady dripping of a leaky faucet has to be one of the most annoying sounds in the world. But thanks to this next water worker, there's no need to whip out your entire toolbox to avoid insanity. Let me introduce you to the Easy Change Faucet Wrench from the American plumbing tools manufacturer Ridgid. This striking device features changeable aluminum inserts to handle a variety of common plumbing jobs, from installing faucets and sink strainers to tightening shutoff valves. The tool's hollow interior allows it it to wrap around the undersink pipes for convenient fastening of mounting nuts, while its short body length of just 10.5 inches helps it fit into especially tight spaces. It's available to buy online for just $37, and apparently, some plumbers need it much more than others. On second thoughts, I don't think any tool could help this hopeless soul. Pocket pry bar. If you ever peered into a mechanic's toolbox, you might be shocked by the sheer quantity of gadgets and gizmos they carry around. They might have obscure, complex-looking items like this universal hammer, which holds nails in place for you while you whack it. Pretty cool, but not all effective tools need to be sophisticated. Sometimes, it only takes one simple device to handle a variety of everyday tasks. This 4-inch-long multi-tool doubles as a pry bar for prying open crates and the like, and a bottle opener, making for an especially handy keychain. No toolbox required. The product was created in 2016 by American entrepreneur Brad Blunt. Surprisingly, certain variants of these tools can cost upwards of $200, thanks to being made of expensive metals like zirconium, which is difficult to refine and process but highly durable. Other manufacturers typically design cheaper versions of these multi-tools using steel or titanium, and some models incorporate wrench and screwdriver components for even greater versatility. As you can see, many of these variations also sport a glossy iridescent coloration. This is achieved through an incredible process known as anodization. This sees the metal surface subjected to electric current and dipped in water and baking soda, resulting in a colorful and protective oxide layer, the colors of which vary based on the voltage applied. Who knew DIY could be such a feast for the eyes? Root Ripper. If you ever thought gardening was boring, well, this next tool's about to rip that misconception right out. Root and stem. Let me introduce you to the Brush Grubber Extreme. Invented by American weeding tools manufacturer Brush Grubber, this intimidating $200 instrument features a fearsome pair of steel, spring-loaded jaws. Each unit boasts 18 non-slip teeth, which allow the tool to clamp down on unwanted shrubs and small trees. If chained to a tractor or heavy car, the Brush Grubber Extreme can easily rip shallow-rooted undergrowth straight out of the earth. It's especially effective at removing buckthorn trees, which are a type of mildly poisonous weed that can grow into dense infestations if left uncontrolled. The best part about the Brush Grubber Extreme is that it literally gets to the root of the problem, pulling rather than cutting the roots from the ground to prevent unwanted shrubbery from regrowing down the road. While definitely a dream for gardeners, I'm just hoping an army of Brush Grubber Extremes don't appear in my nightmares, clamping down on my limbs and dragging me into the fiery pits of a perfectly weeded grave. What, you guys don't have dreams like that? Powerful pruning. From root rippers to hedge hackers, looks like the Brush Grubber Extreme isn't the only tool working to grow gardening a more metal reputation. Hydraulic pruning saws are dangerous-looking tools that can be mounted on tractors to slice through foliage at precise angles. But French hedge trimming company Coup Echo have taken pruning saws to the next level with the Cosmos 200T Orchard Pruner. This beast features a robust mechanized arm ending in a 10-foot-long multi-saw blade attachment, capable of trimming hedges over 26 feet high, with lethal efficiency. And while it's specifically designed for use on greenery, I can't be the only one imagining these menacing machines entered into an underground gardener's exclusive BattleBot tournament. And now, pruners and pitchforkers for the fight you've all been waiting for. Make some noise for Grubber Extreme versus Saw Blade Supreme. Backup wrench. This simple green device may not look like much, but never underestimate a small tool's power. Designed by American company Lockrite Safety Systems, the backup wrench significantly reduces the dangers of industrial bolting. When industrial workers are bolting two industrial pipes together, The hexagonal nuts can only be tightened if those on the opposing sides of the flanges are prevented from rotating. While typically achieved using hands-on tools like hammers and wrenches, the procedure commonly results in nasty finger-pinching injuries, even for the most experienced technicians. The Lockrite backup wrench solves this problem by magnetically attaching to the hex nut, with the attached bolt pressing against the neighboring nut, holding the main nut in place. This allows workers to keep their hands away from all pinch points as they tighten the nut on the other side. The steel alloy tool can fit into extremely tight spaces, thanks to the wide variety of sizes on offer, but the price point is pretty shocking. Even the smallest of these devices can cost over $230. That being said, workplace hand injury settlements in the US can be as high as $630,000, so the backup wrench could actually save heavy industry companies money in the long run. Jeez, I wouldn't mind trading a finger or two for that kind of payout, but unfortunately, I already traded all my fingers away for Pokemon cards. Still worth it. Bailout Boss. There's no doubt that many of the tools we've seen so far make certain jobs faster, easier, or safer. But this next one is quite literally a lifesaver. This is the Personal Bailout Kit by rescue equipment manufacturer Skedco, which is specifically designed to help people escape burning buildings. The kit features a pair of 6-inch-long serrated hooks, made of aircraft-grade aluminum, as well as a 65-feet-long Technora rope. Technora is what's known as an aramid fiber, a type of synthetic polymer used in firefighters' gear thanks to its heat-resistant properties. While most standard ropes made from nylon or polyester have a maximum operating temperature of around 320 to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, Technora ropes can be used in environments reaching over 500 degrees. Pretty obvious why this might be useful when escaping a towering inferno, right? To use the Personal Bailout Kit, hooks are secured at 45-degree angles from the bottom corner of the window, which allows those inside to abseil down the exterior of the building to safety. But the best part of it all, Skedco was actually founded by veteran combat medic Bud Kalkin, who served in the U.S. Army and National Guard. Now I can't think of much safer hands to be in than those of an Army medic, can you? Lumberjack of all trades. There's no denying the impressive and intimidating prowess of a lumberjack's powerful swing. However, thanks to the sophisticated logging equipment of the 21st century, these guys are armed with more than just a simple axe. This is the $2,000 TR30AQ felling wedge, developed by German forestry equipment manufacturer Forstreich Maschinenbau. The aluminum TR30 is designed to attach to a cordless impact driver, which pushes the felling wedge between the metal brackets, deep into tree trunks, encouraging them to topple. The wedge's tapered shape helps the trunk to fall away from the operator, not on top of them. But if the handheld route with the TR30 isn't big enough for you, there's always the $3,000 TR300, which can be remotely controlled via radio signal from the safety of 330 feet away. Thank goodness for that. This face is way too adorable to risk being flattened by falling trees. After wedging down tree trunks, lumberjacks typically transfer them to a sawhorse, which supports the wood horizontally as it's cut down into boards. While most sawhorses take the form of simple 4- to 6-legged trestles, Irish woodworking manufacturer Timber Crock has patented their own unique version. In a close-up, it's not hard to see how this crock got its name. This $270 beast of a tool features a layered row of hanging laser-cut teeth, which adjust to grip logs and planks and even large wooden pallets in place. While the sturdy steel frame can hold loads as heavy as 440 pounds, it's far from Timber Crock's most heavy-duty model. That honor belongs to the $1,500 Mountie XHD, which sits on the back of tractors with the capacity to carry well over half a ton of logs. There's no doubt that lumberjacks of centuries past would be truly amazed by these modern developments. But if you find them just as fascinating, why not swing your tree-felling fingers down to that subscribe button? I may not always be the sharpest tool in the shed, but I do know a thing or two about knocking up a shed load of things you probably never knew before, for your viewing pleasure. Now, back to the video. Crocoline. Commonly used in paving and bricklaying to help create straight lines for accuracy between reference points, the string line is one of the oldest and most basic of hand tools. But Dutch startup Krakolgen, founded by 3 university students in 2019, have taken leveling out construction to the next level. Known as the Krako line, this smart set of jaws halves the time it takes to draw a level string line between 2 points on a construction site. The $16 tool features a half-inch diameter hole on one end, allowing it to be easily secured to a stake at the desired height. The row of teeth and sliding metal rod can then be used to secure the line in just the right horizontal position. And voila, you've efficiently and accurately mapped out your building project. Plus, if you stick 2 Krako lines on top of each other, they make a pretty handsome shadow puppet. Because even the hardiest of construction workers needs a little entertainment now and then. Pipe dream. There comes a time in every homeowner's life when they feel like grabbing some DIY tools and renovating their humble abode. Well, for those homeowners who also double as keen cyclists, I've got the DIY project of your dreams. In 2014, American designer Brian Dorfler took an ordinary PVC pipe and reimagined it as an ingeniously simple tool for storing and displaying his beloved bicycle. Available on Etsy for $123, the pipe features a small notch for holding bikes in place, but the simplicity of its design means you could just as easily make one yourself. While most pipe dreams amount to nothing, Brian's brainwave just goes to show that the construction of success can be as easy as riding a bike. Subsoiler. For millennia, farmers around the world have been utilizing a multitude of useful tools to improve their crop harvests. And these days, industrial farming has taken its tools to an entirely new level. This bizarre and intimidating contraption might look like something out of BattleBots, but it's actually waging war against the ground itself. Mud, to be specific. Manufactured by agricultural machinery company Rolmaco, the U614 subsoiler attaches to the back of a tractor as the ultimate plowing machine. As it's pulled along a farm field, the rows of large curved steel teeth plunge into the ground up to 3 times deeper than the average plow. This breaks up any compacted soil to encourage the flow of subterranean air and water, which greatly improves root vegetable growth. There's no doubt that these incredible farming innovations help us keep up with the massive global demand for food. But I've seen A Bug's Life enough times to imagine the horror of all those poor underground critters faced with this industrial abomination. Run, little ants. Run! Faucet turbine. Now, you might not believe it, but the average American family uses over 300 gallons of water per day. But here's a way to put even the most extreme water consumption to good use. In 2015, British engineer Jasper Puys came up with this curious design for a 3D printable turbine for home water faucets. The idea was to connect it up to a simple electricity generator, so it essentially becomes a miniature version of the huge hydroelectric turbines built into many dams, which convert flowing water's energy into electricity. Turbines work through the process of electromagnetic induction, discovered by English scientist Michael Faraday in 1831. In typical setups, a rotating turbine causes a magnet inside a generator to rotate, leading to a changing magnetic field, which in turn induces a current in coils of wires around the magnet. This current can be fed into electrical power grids and used for electricity. Since the rotor on this quirky tap-mounted turbine is only 1 inch in diameter, it can't generate enough electricity for most household appliances just yet. But one thing it could do is feed power to a small temperature sensor and LED light, illuminating the water stream in different colors according to the heat level, or some other minor electrical task that doesn't require much power. Personally, I'd install one of these bad boys in my shower just to have myself a little one-man rave by twisting the temperature knob back and forth. DJ Be Amazed is getting clean in the house! Carbon Cleanse. More pocket-sized pro gadgets now. Check out this ultra-detailed device known as the Carbon Boss AR-15. created by firearm maintenance company Real Avid. While it looks like some next-generation fidget spinner, it's actually designed for cleaning America's most popular rifle type, the AR-15. This rifle has a common issue of components becoming noticeably clogged with a carbon residue after a few hundred rounds, which must be removed to prevent the rifle from jamming. That's where the Carbon Boss multi-tool comes in. Boasting 16 different steel scrapers and bronze brushes in one, the device efficiently eliminates soot from every nook and cranny of the rifle's firing mechanism. This DIY solution to gun maintenance can save AR-15 owners a lot of money, since the Carbon Boss is priced at just $35, whereas professional rifle cleaners often charge $80 per service. While I don't own any firearms myself, I can still envision getting plenty of use out of this awesome tool by throwing it around my backyard like some kind of high-tech ninja star. I've no doubt my family will feel thoroughly protected. Next level camping. You might think that camping is all about reconnecting with nature by going back to basics. But some of these basics can actually take your wander in nature to, quite literally, the next level. These tactical trinkets are just 3 inches long and sport a peculiar fishbone design, which allows them to slot perfectly into gaps between decking, fencing, benches, and tree branches. As a type of tent anchor, instead of burrowing into the ground like tent pegs, they can be attached to a tent using carabiners and bungee loops to secure canopies above ground, making for easier, cleaner retrieval. Not only do these nifty tools make it a breeze to pitch and dismantle your camp, but they're also typically made of cheap aluminum alloy, costing no more than $1 each. Who said camping has to mean getting down and dirty? Not these tent anchors, no siree. Laser slingshot. If you were a troublemaker like me as a kid, you might have nostalgic memories of constructing your very own slingshot out of a stick and elastic. Sadly, my aim was never quite as good as Bart Simpson's, but I'm sure it would have been if I had this insane upgraded version. High-power slingshots come with a built-in adjustable laser target to land shots with Hawkeye precision from unbelievable distances. Not only that, but these next-level slingers also fire with greater force than typical slingshot models, thanks to their strong polycarbonate handle and thick, no-slip rubber catapult. While often marketed as a hunting accessory, these slingshots can be used for a variety of more wholesome tasks, such as stylishly retrieving fruits from high branches. Believe it or not, many online retailers sell these devices for as little as $4 a piece, with some including a generous ammunition of 500 mud balls with your purchase. Yikes. That sounds like a recipe for a muddy disaster. Delinquents, take aim. It's time to paint this town brown. Which of these amazing tools would you like to test out for yourself? Do you have a favorite tool in your toolbox? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching.